Hi everyone, happy Friday. This is week 2 of doing the good, bad, and ugly email with the video edition. So I learned a lot from last week's video. I'm trying to cut the time down a little bit. We do have some longer reviews this week, so let's go ahead and get into it so we can kind of cut down a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay. All right, let me zoom in. Okay, so starting things off, we do have the total review data from Sochi. Once again, they're a little off with the numbers. I think when we have Yelp reviews, they take a while to update on their end. But they are saying that we have 26 reviews total with 18 positive, 2 neutral, and 6 negative. My count, I always keep it on the paper. We have 24 positive reviews with 6 negatives and 2 neutral. So I have us at 32 in total. I'm sure that will update a little later on. You can zoom in a little bit. Sorry, it's so small. It's really hard to get all the numbers in there. But let's go ahead and start off with the bad. I like to leave the positives to end things with and then get the negatives out of the way. We have not had many neutral reviews in the past few weeks. There were 2 though from this week, so let's look at those. This first one, 3 stars. They provide a good service. I'm not sure if this was just a case where the reviewer meant to put 4 or 5 stars, but put 3 instead. Maybe they didn't understand how Google ratings work. I'm not sure, but it's not necessarily negative. They are saying that we provide a good service, but this could just be a true neutral review with them saying, you know, we are good, we are average, run of the mill. So this one's kind of a weird one, I guess. So true neutral, I would say. This next one is from Amy W. And she said, not the best with customer service and communication, but the pricing and actual outcome from the services were like night and day with my lawn. If I did not have cameras, I never would have known they actually showed up. And I specifically asked to speak with the technician about my areas of concern. And that was where they really failed, hence poor communication and customer service. As far as the actual product/service, I got what I asked for. This review is a mixed bag. On one hand, we did improve her lawn and she did feel like the pricing was fair, which is, great to hear. However, she does have a specific instructions she would like followed. I did see that in her account, she requested that the technicians call her and speak to her before treating the lawn. I know that we are focusing on tapering off all of these must-have verbals or call aheads and kind of the nitpicky things that get us in trouble like this. However, this was promised to her last year, so we need to honor it. There was, looking at her account, there were some cases in the last few months where she had a history of thinking that texts were not coming out to do the lawn based on what her camera was picking up. Whether or not that's true, we'll have to look into that a little more. But that being said, I think as long as we do what she's asking, calling her beforehand, I think she'd be a happy customer because the lawn itself is looking great. So the problem here is really just on the communication side. She's still with us. I think this can be fixed moving forward. Next up, we have the ugly, my least favorite part to go over. I'm trying to get through these sort of fast. They're kind of long. But this first review, I think, is from Sandy N. This is from Yelp. And she said, I hired this company to aerate and overseed my front and backyard late this past summer/fall. Their communication is very poor since they just plan to show up at your residence without scheduling an appointment, which doesn't work for me. First of all, I want to know when they are planning to arrive and I want to watch what they do. Also, my backyard is 3 to 4 times bigger than my front lawn, and it is gated and padlocked, so they cannot enter my backyard unless I let them in. The technician showed up, did a lousy job on the small front yard area, meaning he missed many spots. He proceeded to try and enter my fenced yard, which I caught him at. I told him I would need to unlock the gate for him to enter the backyard. After I unlocked the gate, he still couldn't get the aerator through the gate because my gate was not large enough for the aerator to get through that he brought with him. Again, they never scheduled an appointment, so didn't even know I had a gated fenced backyard. He said he would return the next day, but never did. Now the company is sending me invoices for the full amount quoted, although they only completed about 1/4 of the job. All right, this one is a lot to unpack. So this customer hired us for aeration only in the fall. Looking back at her orders in the past, she's only hired us for mosquito or aeration. I don't believe she's ever had the full service, the full basic program, or she has not had in the past few years. I did not see any special instructions in the account to reach out to her and I guess walk along with her. The only thing I did see was that the preferred communication was via email. Apparently this customer is hearing impaired. So that's a little bit of a disconnect there. That's something that we need to figure out. That's the root of these issues. It seems like, once again, communication. I believe though that the main gripe here is the fact that the application wasn't completed in its entirety. I did look into this and I saw where we came back out on the 7th for an inspection. I'm not sure if we completed the previous service. I did see notes saying that it was obvious that the front yard was not fully aerated and was not fully complete. So Jeremy, if you could clarify if we caught up with this, if we went back out and finished aeration, that would be great. She did not pay for this aeration yet, so she is in collections, which I think caused this review to pop up. She probably was reminded and went on Yelp to vent her frustrations. There is one positive about this though, it's negative all around that we have a bad review on Yelp, but the one good thing is that she initially gave us a review in 2015. It was also negative, 1 star, and I believe that was over a billing issue. She had purchased a Groupon or something like that. So there's already a negative review from 2015 from this customer. So when she updated the review, she left the same star rating. So it didn't necessarily hurt us since it was the same score. That's really the only positive that this has. But this really seems like another case of specific instructions not being followed, communication lacking. Like I said, I didn't see any notes about this in the account, but knowing what we know now, we should definitely be doing these things that she's requesting moving forward. The next one says, better customer service. Had plenty bad experiences with this company. So after looking at this customer's account, it seems like this review was based on her not agreeing with the results of a dispute. That's pretty classic. She initially wanted to pause service and then call us back on her time for us to come back out. And she was saved. This was earlier in the year. She was saved when we asked her if we'd come back out in December. She said yes, and we had plans to come back out, so we did. That's when she claimed that she never called us back. She never authorized us to treat the lawn again. We came out twice, actually. We did give her credit for one of these apps as a show of good faith, but she did cancel over this earlier this week, and she did pay for the other application, but she was not happy. Calling us back was her responsibility. That's on her to do, but there was a lot of confusion with the situation. Once again, the communication was not there. We should have been completely honest and said, there's really no way for us to, skip around applications and come back out. If you want to start back up with us, you'll need to do it again next year. So I'm sorry, I have to ignore my dog. He is chewing on his little bone over there and being so loud. But yeah, once again, communication needs some work. This last one from Tracy Moore says, terrible customer service, use anyone but this company. I am seeing a trend here. I'm sure you all probably are too. All of these negative reviews mention customer service and communication, and that's what I've seen lately as the most common complaint. So I know that Ron spoke with this customer earlier in the week, And the main issue was that she was upset that she had to renew the service and that she had to call back on the sales line to get set back up again. But before Ron could really get into this deeper with her, she had to go and she hung up the phone. However, there is a happy ending to this one. Seems like it's kind of rare for these, these are the worst of the worst reviews. So it's rare that ones like these end up having a good outcome. But this was in Jacksonville, and Anthony was able to reach out, and he did save her with the promise of being her point of contact moving forward, everything going through him. She also said that she would take down the review, which is great. I do still see it up right now as of this afternoon. But Anthony, if you would follow up again with her next week and just gently remind her to honor her promise about removing the review, that would be great. As long as it might be gone this weekend, I'm not sure, but if it's still there on Monday, I'd really appreciate it if you'd reach back out and gently remind her about what she said she would do. So with the negatives covered, let's look at the good. We had a lot of our reviews this week with just paragraphs of praise. And that's something I've been seeing more and more. When I send out these review requests, all I send out is how would you rate your experience? 1 star to 5 stars. And that doesn't say on there, please, you have to leave a comment, or it's not required is what I'm saying. So to have so many lately, just organic commentary coming up, like that's great news. So from Brian M on Yelp, he said, they show up when they're scheduled to, and my yard is looking better and better with each application. Their home office is quick on responses with questions as well, which is nice. So there is a shout out to comms there. So the home office is quick on responses. I'm not sure he's talking about just getting on the phone or maybe the I need help email. Either way, he's happy with that, which is a win. The next review from Todd T says, very reliable and prompt, doing well with challenging lawn. Severe slope and too much shade makes it, I think he means makes it tough. Makes it tough to keep grass healthy and weed free. Weed Man gets it done. I love that last line. Weed Man gets it done. That's probably my favorite ones that I've seen in the past month or so. And then the last one from Ivan Rivera Jr. said, after 1 year of service by Weed Man, I must say that I am very pleased. Before Weed Man, the weeds were a problem around my home, and it was a constant battle for me with many weekends spent pulling weeds. Well, I must say I was initially skeptical, but now I've been recommending Weed Man to everyone. Great service, always on time, and they always announce when they're coming over for an application. That one is just the gold standard, everything we could want in one review. So shout out to us and to Ivan. Sounds like that is going really well with him. So similar to last week, our pause reviews are tending to focus more on the ops side of things, and most of them mention how the lawns have improved. This is super encouraging. This is what we want, but it is becoming clear to me that there is a disconnect when looking at the reviews overall. We seem to be doing really, really well with the production side of things, delivering fast, drastic results. But looking at the negatives, we're running into issues when it comes to communications and the comms department. I know we're answering more calls and customers are able to get in touch more easily. We've definitely improved there, but we are not delivering on our promises that we are making communication-wise. I know that Kaylin is working really, really hard to revamp and improve the admin team so we can combat this, but we need to make sure that we are following all instructions or requests customers have for us and not promising things we cannot 100% commit to, like in the one of the negative reviews above. Let's see, which one is it? This first one here, when we told her we would come back out the next day, when we did not, that stuck with her. Things like that. We shouldn't be promising that we can come right back out the next day if we don't intend on doing so, because that just makes us look bad, makes us unprofessional, and it's not a good look for us. So we need to be honest and realistic with what we tell our customers, because over promising just leads to disappointment and ends up becoming more work for us down the road. I think once we do a better job at this communications wise, not to say that there are problems with the production side, but I believe once we get a handle on our communication and we improve that, we will truly be in harmony. And I think I'm going to see less reviews in general. It's really about us being on the same page, comms and ops working together and doing the thing. So we have to just make sure that we're delivering in every area. So before we move on to employee review mentions, I do have an exciting announcement. So starting next week, I will be compiling all the names compiling all the names mentioned reviews and then drawing from those and doing a bonus spin, similar to the TurfBot spins. So the winner will receive an extra $20 on top of the $20 they already got for having their name mentioned in the review. The only condition is that there needs to be at least 3 names in the drawing. So this week we had just 2 names mentioned, so we couldn't do it this week. But I'm excited to see where this goes and who is going to win it next week. Sorry, my dog is being so loud. So this week we had 2 names mentioned. So great job, Christian, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced Tavion. Christian and Tavion for making a positive impact. And here is our weekly breakdown. So besides those 2, the majority mentioned ops, followed by no names, just star review only, and then comms. And for 2022 so far, we still have the no names or star ratings leading, followed by ops, and then comms. But Ashley Williamson has making up is getting there on this little part of the graph. So besides that, she's leading the way for names mentioned. I would like to see the percentage of no name reviews go down and be replaced with more people's names like Ashley and Taylor. That would be great. And last but not least, here is our collage for the week. All these lawns just look so clean. Like they look amazing, even in the wintertime. I will say though, we struggled this week with getting these pictures sent over in a timely manner. The whole point of having picture days on Wednesdays is to get these sent in. So it's in a designated time frame. We aren't playing catch up for the rest of the week. So there really shouldn't be any scrambling on Friday afternoons to send me these photos so I can make the collage. We need to commit to doing better in this area. Especially next week. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to get kind of annoying with the emails, on the hour, where are the photos? So let's not have that happen. Let's just send them in on time and just wipe our hands of it Wednesday evening. It should be done, should be easy. Let's commit to doing that. With that being said though, like I said, these lawns are really great and the pictures need to keep coming in because I've been uploading all of these to Google and they've definitely been getting some traction. That is about it for this week. Thank you to everyone who gave me some advice and instructions on last week's video. I am keeping them all in mind and I am trying to work hard to improve. I'm still a work in progress, but I am keeping all of that in mind. So with that being said, thank you all for reading and following along. And I hope you have a fabulous weekend and I will see you again next week for the next video. Have a good one, guys.